You can't just have like whatever your heart desires.
The build of it is just quite cheap. Whereas when you buy a new build, you've got the ability to contact the builder.
This one honestly would potentially make me buy another new build.
Oh, saucy.
It has been 1 year or over a year since we moved into this house. Can you believe it? I can't believe it.
Can you? Adam and Eve it.
Anyone that is new to this channel, we bought this new build house in September of 2022.
It's a Linden Evely, 3-bed semi-detached.
And it was our first house, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. Well, it still is our first house.
We thought that since we've been in here a year, it'd be the perfect opportunity for us to kind of talk to you guys about our experience. Got a load of pros and cons of our new build experience, and we're gonna like share them with you throughout the day.
Let's get into the video. Give you our first pro and con.
I'll do the pro.
You do the pro.
Positive mental attitude.
I'll do the neggy new then.
The first pro is the fact that we got to pick the plot and like be a part of the building process. There was honestly nothing more exciting than choosing the plot and like seeing it being built. And we were literally down here, like down at this development, like every week, just like trying to peer through the gate. We literally got pick of our street and we managed to pick a really good plot with a really massive garden.
High five. The con is, and I suppose it's not like a massive issue, it depends what your preferences are, but if you're buying a new build in like a town or in an area, it's usually like they build towns outward, so it's on like the edges of towns.
Yeah.
Like we're not like miles out of town, like it's not a big town where we live, but you're not like central, so if you prefer to be central and in the thick of it, then new builds usually aren't that.
No. Right, we're gonna go out on a walk now.
Yeah, we're gonna
we'll catch up
Mills
here
out
in a
for
minute.
a walk. We're on a walk together.
That's High School Musical.
Yeah, I know, I love High School Musical. It's my fave, yeah.
You've never watched it, have you?
Nah, I just know the song. Anyway. We're breaking free soaring. The pro that I'm gonna say, when you buy a house from like someone who's lived in it before and you're in a chain, you might move in and there'll be like little bits of stuff that's just a bit untidy, paint issues, or some of the skirting boards a bit broken, or like
marks on the paint.
Yeah, like marks and like all like cosmetic stuff like you need to pay to sort out. Whereas when you buy a new build, you've got the ability to contact the builder, and if you are really picky like we were really like tenacious with it. We would go to the builder and say this needs to be sorted, we're not happy with this. With new builds, although some builders are better than others with like snags and making sure that the quality is good, you just get the opportunity to get everything like as you want it. You're in charge of the quality, and it depends how far you want to push it.
My con would be to do with the kitchen and like the choices. So when you buy a new build house, you get obviously the opportunity to choose your kitchen. So you pick like the doors, the colour, the handles, but there's actually a very limited number of things that you can pick from. And also you can't really pick the layout, like it's a layout that is designed by the developer, compared to if you were literally buying a house, gutting it and redoing the kitchen yourself and going to like a designer, say like Wren Kitchens or someone, where you've got hundreds of choices to pick from, you've got hundreds of colours, you can literally make your dream kitchen. You can't just have like whatever your heart desires. So that's my con. Woo!
And we're in the kitchen.
And we are
We've been like shapeshifters today.
I know.
We're gonna do another pro and a con.
My pro, this one honestly would potentially make me buy another new build. You move into a house that has the newest standard of everything. So you've got a brand new fuse board, a brand new boiler. You've got the highest standard of insulation, which has meant that in the winter last year, we barely spent any money on heating because it was so warm,
doesn't it?
In comparison to the house that we were living in before when we were renting, we honestly spent less last year, which is crazy.
We had a one bed and it was like costing like almost £100 more.
Even though when we moved in here, the rates of electricity gone right up, we were still spending less than when we were in the one bed. Just shows how good the insulation actually was. Also, we had an electric car charger fitted to the side of our house, and it cost us a lot less money because they have already like attached it to the fuse board or something.
They've already wired it. There's like 2 outputs on the outside which are basically so
ready
that you can put EV chargers or sockets outside. My con is kind of leading on from that. The builders will usually pick quantity over quality. They just want to churn out as many houses as they can. So there's been a few things where, say the front door for example, like it's not very good. The build of it is just quite cheap. Had the carpenter around to fix the lock, and he was like, yeah, we can't really do much more than that. They're just the quality of the product's just not very good.
Same with the kitchen, it's all like fairly cheap.
Like they use the cheapest stuff basically. I'm seeing it myself through my work. All the subcontractors are the same. The only thing that is different site to site is the management, and if it's managed well, then the workmanship's usually better, but the quality of materials is usually the same.
Now let's have some dinner. Right, we are off to McDonald's because we're going to get a McFlurry. We fancy a McFlurry tonight.
Yeah.
And we thought that we could continue this video with a McFlurry. Can I have chocolate flake, please?
Yeah. I'm going to have a Malteser. I'm not asking for some
Malteser,
sauce.
oh, saucy.
Good evening, Karen
Was
She was lovely.
She was absolutely lovely. Cheers.
Cheers. Pro and con number 4. So my pro in this section is when you move in to the house is completely ready. Like you don't have to be like, oh, we need to change the kitchen or we need to change the bathroom. With a new build, no one's ever lived in it. So you can literally move in and they're livable straight away.
Some people that renovate have to live in like caravans and stuff, don't they? So
Yeah,
that they
exactly, yeah.
have somewhere to sleep.
So that is a big pro, that you are ready to move in pretty much straight away.
My con is that the developer will tell you 100 times over, and I'm sure this is probably the same for every developer, not to decorate the house when you move in for at least a year, because you're going to get snags, you're going to get cracks potentially. Hopefully you won't, but you're probably likely to as the house like settles.
They say it's set when because they use so much water to build the house, it's like settling.
We haven't had anything that bad at all, to be honest, but you just don't know, do you? We did do some paneling in the bedroom, which any of you guys that already watched our vlogs for a long time will have seen.
If you haven't, then go and watch it.
Yeah, of course. We actually built the paneling like on top of the wall, so we weren't actually painting the wall or like attaching it to the wall. But even though you're like, oh, I'm moving into a blank canvas of a house, you're actually not really meant to decorate it for at least a year. We're going to finish our McFlurries and then we'll see you at home. And we're on the sofa.
Transported to the sofa.
Woohoo! And Millia's desperately trying to play with us on the side, so.
Oh, Mills, you've been out for a walk today. If you're new here as well, you wouldn't have seen her.
It's a small York.
She's a little loving little York, isn't she?
Next pro would be the fact that there isn't much stress buying a new build versus buying a house off someone else, I don't think. Because number one, you don't have a chain, so you're not waiting for somebody to move out of the house that you have purchased. If you're a first time buyer as well, you've literally got no chain either side of you, so it's a really easy process in that respect.
You don't have anything to worry that's going to come up on the survey if it's got like,
because it's
like
going to have to pass. And also I felt like personally our developer had a really good relationship with the solicitors. We went with their recommendation and everything was like really fast, wasn't it? I reckon that's because they're working with the developer all the time, like have a quite close relationship. Millie's actually giving me puppy dog eyes over there.
So in terms of cons, if you haven't seen it, we just posted a dressing room video where we done a makeover on Bethan's dressing room. We didn't order the wardrobes from Linden because they were just so expensive, and it was like £2,000 for like a wardrobe that's like less than 1.5 meters wide. And we found that the ceilings are slightly shorter than the height of the full length IKEA units.
Yeah.
And they're too, like, you can't get them, so it's like, I think it was like 1 centimetre or 2 centimetres too narrow for the combination of like the 100 centimetre and the 50. Yeah, they just do it so that you can't just move in with a Pax and do that, which is annoying, and that is why that's a con, because there must be some sort of method to that. But we made it work, as you saw in the video. Yeah. We're going to do one pro and one con for luck, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. So I will do the pro. Another massive one for me, to be honest, is how clean it has been living in this house and how easy it is to keep clean because everything is new. It's so much easier to keep on top of, basically. So that's my pro.
And the last con,
Acon.
Locked up, don't let me out. Won't let me out. My voice is so good, I'd probably get copyrighted there because I think that we'd be playing the actual song.
Yeah, 100%.
No, probably one that a lot of people will worry about when they're going through the decision-making process of getting a new build, not getting a new build. We didn't have it that bad. Like, it's not like mega noisy, but you can get days and times of the project when things are just getting really noisy. You'll always hear like diggers going, or like pneumatic drills, or where they've got like a concrete sort of circular cutter that they're doing. And we've had times when people were like, walking up the street shouting and like being outside our door like making loads of noise, and I'm on a meeting or Bethan's on a call, and a little bit frustrating, but you sort of got to take it as it's only going to be a short period of time, because we've now been in a year and they're like they've got like 3 or 4 of the plots to finish off.
Like almost a year in and we've got like no noise.
Yeah.
I think it depends what part of the phase you're on. You know, like say you're the last house on the whole development, you're probably not going to get any noise obviously, but if you're like the first house on the development, you're going to get loads for like the next 2 years. So the ultimate question, would we buy a new build again after a year of being in one?
My answer is yes, I would.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I would
I'd be
as well.
selective on the builder though.
A bit more selective on the builder.
Yeah.
And also I do think for us, when we go to buy our family home, it will depend on the location of the house as well.
Exactly.
That's obviously going to play a part.
We did mention about the location, like it being on the outskirts of town, but I would buy one from my experience, and especially as a first time buyer.
Not a day goes by that I don't feel like blessed and grateful for this house. Like we absolutely love living in it. It'll be really interesting if you guys follow us over like the next few years to see whether we do buy another new build or whether we buy a house and do it up.
If you want to get in touch, drop us a message on Instagram.
Yeah,
and get
any
back
questions you've got, just shout. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you give it a like if you enjoyed it, and if you aren't subscribed to our channel, please come and join the family and subscribe.
Which side would be on? It'd be this side.
Ding, ding. Bye.
Peace.